Hi, welcome to CMORoom Spotlight. I'm Andrea Orth, Executive Director of CMORoom, and today I'm here with Steve McLoughlin, the CMO of LUXY Ride. We're here in New York City at the beautiful Manhattan, where you can see this beautiful view here today. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I'm just going to start out with a couple of questions.
Sure.
I might throw in like one or two just follow-ups, but nothing that I think will shock you.
Sounds great.
What early experience or moment in your career most shaped really how you approach marketing today?
So I wouldn't necessarily say it's based on work experience, but I've done a lot of coaching, right? So I've coached some baseball in my day, and one of the things that I've kind of taken from that is just how so it was Little League baseball, let's put it that way, and they said learn the rule book, and I was like learn the rule book, and so the reason for that was just like you will basically win games by knowing the rules because there's a lot of little idiosyncrasies behind Little League baseball. So
makes sense.
Fast forward into like real life, and and I was speaking at one of at the agency I was working for. We were doing a little strategy day, and I got up in front of the room and I said to everybody, I said, what is the definition of strategy, right? And so in talking about that and just like kind of understanding the definition of strategy, it's like, it really comes down to just like, what are the rules? How do I win? Right? And so that's really kind of a philosophy that I've taken into the business world, which is, really started out with coaching in those Little League days. It's just like, so literally understanding the rules, how do I win? And then treating everybody that I'm kind of working with like they're 10-year-olds, like they don't know something. Right? So,
I'm sure they love hearing that, but
but I mean,
it's
truly,
good to over-explain some things because they can't read your mind.
Right, sometimes you have to think about the fact that not everybody's thinking the exact same thing you're thinking, so you break it down to the lowest level and treat them like 10-year-olds, and everybody comes out as a winner. Yeah,
I mean, great place to learn leadership skills, definitely from the coaching perspective. So great analogy. When we talk about LUXY Ride and how it operates in a category where people think they already know what that category is around transportation with Uber and Lyft and black cars. What does it mean to build a challenger brand, and how do you really stand out?
Yeah, so in the case of LUXY, Uber's did us a favor by being so popular, right? And I think when it comes to black car service, people have a level of expectation that you don't get with your average, I'll call it rideshare. I won't call certain companies out, but you're right. There's the ones that everybody knows, and most people will say it's just like, oh gosh, I was hoping for a better experience and I didn't have it. And so some of the areas that they've truly created the issue that everybody knows about, which is things like surge pricing. Right, so it's a busy day. I'm in an area where I need to get from point A to point B, but so do 1,000 other people at the same time. So I always refer to it as like you open up your app and you don't know what you're going to get. It's kind of like rolling the dice on like, am I going to get a good driver? What's my price going to be? How long is it going to take them to show up? Yep. And so we're really kind of embracing that as like understanding like that's the industry, and we've put things in place that we're really addressing those head on. And when I first started this role, I've only been in this role for about 2.5 months now.
Okay.
And then one of the first things I said to the CEO was just like, let's punch Uber in the face. Like literally just go right at them, because they've created, everybody knows who they are, and they've kind of created this issue that we're going to come in and address. Yeah.
And now tell me a little bit about, if you can, how you guys are positioning yourselves differently.
So
Can you share some of that?
So we're similar in the way that we don't own a fleet, right? So we're basically partnering with a network of professional chauffeurs nationwide. And we've basically verified and vetted that network ahead of time, which is important. And don't think of us as like the ride to the bar or the immediate need. It's typically we work with a lot of executives, people that are doing airport transfers, so they know when they have to be there, so they're scheduling it ahead of time. In cities like New York and Los Angeles and Atlanta and Chicago and some of the bigger cities, we've gotten that down to about 30 minutes.
Nice.
So we're able to compete, right, really with the folks that are providing that immediate ride, right? But it's just for planned travel. A lot of executives, they have an expectation that I'm not going to get, the car's going to be clean, they're going to open the door for me, they'll help me with my luggage, some of those things.
Yeah, I will say I am that person who, whatever ride share I take, I'm usually selecting the black car service, because I don't want to get into some car that smells like pot.
Yeah,
really
you said it. I wasn't going to say it. I'm glad you did. Thank you.
They do. I can't take it. I'm just like, I've gotten to a point in my life where I'm just not going to deal with that.
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, I think just a really good solution out there for executives.
Can I just add one more thing?
Of course.
The premise of the company was company's been around for almost 10 years, a little more over 10 years. The original company was called One Way Limo. I know that sounds like a ridiculous name,
Okay.
but the concept behind it was actually, the idea was filling empty legs. So if you think about the nature of airport transfer,
Yes.
they're driving empty to pick somebody up and then they're driving back, or they're driving, dropping somebody off and driving back empty. And so our technology is also built on matching basically riders with drivers. And so that's one of the benefits for our network of drivers to be part of our network, is that we help them fill empty legs. So they're literally generating more revenue just by working with us.
Right, that's amazing. That's smart, really smart. Switching gears just a little bit, thinking about digital channels, data, performance metrics, what's one way you've seen digital transformation influence your decision making as a CMO?
I would say it's the pace at which we get information and data, and then the quality of that data. It's really allowed us to make, or me particularly, to make decisions almost in real time. There's not that lag of like, run a campaign, see how it did, now make adjustments. We're looking at stuff, hate to say it, but we do have to look at stuff day to day, which sometimes I'm like, can you really make a decision based on what happened yesterday? Sure, if you compare it with what happened last year at this day or whatever, but yeah, the pace at which the information that we get, the quality of the information has really allowed us to make decisions a lot quicker.
Amazing, yeah, and that's obviously important for just keeping ahead of what consumers want.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
So, when evaluating, performance marketing success, what are key metrics and signals that you prioritize, at that strategic level versus just surface level to really evaluate what's working?
Sure. Yeah, so I'm always starting with business impact, right? In our case, it's like, did somebody book a ride? How much did it cost us to get that customer? And I can tell you that our CEO is really in tune with cost per acquisition, and literally looking at the metrics, at that level on the day-to-day basis too. It's like, how did we do yesterday mentality? But the reality is that just because, if the cost per acquisition target was $60 and it was $80, well, sometimes that's okay if we know that that was a corporate client that's going to book 6 or 7 or 10 times this year, right? So the metrics that we look at are, what's the impact it's having to the business? So what did it cost to acquire the customer? And are they a customer that's going to continue to work with us? Or was it the family vacation where they're like, this is our big vacation, we've got a lot of luggage, we got to get into our car. Sure, we want to service them, but from a business perspective, from a marketing perspective, it's just like, if I've got to do one of those every single time, it's going to cost a lot of money to get customers. Whereas we really want to make sure we're focusing on, did we get the right customers?
Right. Yeah. And then making them loyal to you.
And then make them loyal. Yeah.
Right, make them switch.
For sure.
Yeah.
So to your point about, impressions and clicks and all that stuff matters, because what I then do is that's like, okay, we're not meeting our acquisition cost numbers. What's driving that? Was it the piece of creative? Was it the channel? Was it the, do we just not drive enough people to the website? When people got there, did they start the quote, right? So looking at metrics at a variety of levels, just to see which levers can we pull, so that we're like, okay, we got them there, they got the quote. Was the price not right? How far out is their trip? Do we need to re-engage them and remind them? Do we need to let them just save their quote and mail it to themselves? So just really looking at like, did we get to this goal? And then, okay, what are all the things that affected leading up to that?
Yeah. One piece of leadership advice you'd give to an aspiring CMO?
I probably have a few, but I'll narrow it down to, I was thinking about this one.
Give me a couple, that's it.
Yeah, I was thinking about this one. It's like, there's so many things you could tell somebody, right? And then I thought about this. I have 2 posters hanging on my wall in my office. One says, be bold, think big, right? And the other one says, never let the fear of striking out prevent you from playing the game, which that was a Babe Ruth quote.
Yeah.
But it's still one of my favorites too, because the reality is, and I have this conversation almost every day too. It's just like, because we're relatively new, we're a young company and we're growing, but we've got to take some swings and not worry about missing. And oh, by the way, if you know anything about baseball, you swing and miss a lot.
Exactly.
And that's okay, but you've got to learn from it. So
gotta take the chance sometimes.
That's exactly right. I would just say, it's just like, don't be afraid to take the chance, but learn something from it and try not to make the same mistakes twice.
Yeah. Last question for you. We are here, leading up to this community dinner here in New York City for CMORoom. What are you hoping to get out of tonight?
So, again, back to the fact that we're a newer brand in an established marketplace too. So wanted to pick some brains, for sure on some other folks that, that have been in the same position and where they saw some of their best, things that help them, go on that upward trajectory. But just purely networking too, like meet some people in the community. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining me and taking the time to answer some questions for us.
I'm glad to do it. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks.